You've heard the phrase sell in May and go away, but what if I told you it's only true 25% of the time? And worse, 2025 is one of those rare years. Ignore it and you could miss the biggest seasonal edge of the entire cycle.
I'm going to use the following terms during this video. So we're looking at sell in May and go away. Sell in May and go away is referred to the date range of May 1st to October 31st. In this video, I'm going to call that the week date range. The rest of the time during the year, it would have been November 1st to April 30th. And I'm going to call that the strong date range. I'm also going to use a feature of TradeWaves called reverse date range, which will quickly switch between the strong and weak date range. So we can take a look at the performance for each of those segments of the year. Let's go look. Okay, let's look at last 97 years. We are already set to the date range for the week date range. You can see the current date range right here, and you can see the basic statistics on the bottom right here. You can see that last 97 years, the cumulative return of the week date range is 299%. The bar chart for each of the years, as you go over it, shows you what was the gain and loss for that year if you bought at the closing price of the date range, beginning of the date range, and you sold at the closing price of the end of the date range. And the stats again are on the bottom. How about we switch to the strong date range, reverse date range? Suddenly we can see that the cumulative return jumped to 5,372% from 299. Yes, this actually makes sense for the last 97 years. It was definitely a stronger date. The strong date range is definitely stronger than the weak date range. How about this century, last 25 years? Right now we're set to the strong date range. It's 188%. We switch to the weak date range. 24%. Yes, it absolutely has been working the same in this century. And I've done it for the other years also, so we can look at it anywhere from 5, 10 all the way to 97 years, and you can see that it worked in every single one of these number of years. But now we want to take a look at it using the TradeWave's presidential election filtering. Let's take a look at this during presidential election years. As you can see, instead of consecutive years, now you're going to see the bars are every 4 years. Right now, at presidential election year, and we're looking at the week date range, cumulative return is 177%. I'm going to switch to the strong date range. The cumulative return drops to 154%. It did not work. How about presidential election +1, like this year? You can see that the strong date range had a cumulative return of 32%. How about the weak date range? The weak date range jumps up to 41%. So on a PE +1 years, it didn't work. How about midterm election years, or PE +2? On PE +2, the weak date range is -34%. Actually a loser. Let's go to strong date range. It jumps to 958%. This one worked, and it worked like a charm, really well. How about PE +3? Now, we're looking at the strong date range, 53% for the cumulative return. and we switch, reverse the date range, and the week date range is 56%. It's actually higher. So this actually only worked for one of the 4 years of this cycle. It didn't work on PE, PE plus 1, and PE plus 3. It only works during midterm election years, but it works so well that it's influenced every single one of the consecutive years that we took a look at. So do not get out of stocks in May through October for the reason of sell in May and go away, unless it's a midterm election year. This year is not one of those years, but this year there's also this incredible opportunity in the middle of the summer, which if you're interested in, take a look. I made a video of it that I post on April 6th. You can look at that video right here. And there's also another video coming up that I highly recommend that you guys subscribe and take a look at this video. The video is called The 52 Days of Hell in the Markets. This is going to be a very important video, but it's not time for it yet. The time is later in the summer. I hope you have a profitable summer.